Hi everyone, people always ask me, Paul, how did you get started in business? How did you get started being an entrepreneur? Well, it started when I was 13 years old, and here's the story. But I have to take you back to San Diego and to Taft Junior High School when I used to get out of school at 2:30 in the afternoon. Hey, Paul Akers here. I'm going to tell you the story of how I started in business. Now, I'm in my running clothes and my biking clothes because I just got done doing a triathlon. But this is the story. This is my old school, Taft High School. I went to school here when I was 13 years old. So I'd walk out of here at 2:30, 3 o'clock, and I'd walk across the street over here. And right over there was a station, a gas station. And where my car is parked right there was a green van. And in that green van was a guy with buckets of flowers, 5-gallon buckets of flowers. And I walked over there, and one day he said to me, "You want to make some money?" And you know, if they said that to you nowadays, they think you're going to sell drugs or something, right? But I said, "Sure, I want to make some money." I got in that van, drove to National City on a corner on 24th Street, and I started selling flowers. And the key was, every time someone came up to the corner, I held the flowers out and I said, "Sir, would you like to buy some flowers?" And I smiled at them. I started making $70 a night when I was 13 years old in 1973. Staggering how my beginnings started. And now you're going to hear my 92-year-old mother recite the story of what she remembers about those days when I first started to become an entrepreneur.
That I have never seen the likes of it.
Yeah? And what did I do when I sold the flowers? I came home, and what do you remember me doing with the money?
He dumped all the money on the table. He had more money than I had ever seen before.
And I was just a kid.
You don't know how aggressive he was.
I was like 13, 14 years old. I was a young kid.
That's all.
And then what did I do with the money? I want to see if she remembers. Don't say anything, Nick. What did I do?
You didn't give them to me.
Yeah, I know, but what do you remember? What did I do when I came home?
You ironed them.
I ironed the money. That's right.
I swear.
I ironed the money. I
Bill.
flattened it all, made it perfectly flat. And then what did we do with the money the next day? Do you remember?
Did you go to the bank?
We went to the bank.
Yeah.
We went to the bank, and I deposited it all in the bank. So I was very frugal back then.
Oh, you were something else. I have never seen the likes of it in my life.
I remember standing in line at the teller and filling out the deposit slip, that little white slip. We would fill it out, and you would stand, because you know I didn't know what I was doing. I knew what I was doing, but I didn't know what I was doing. You had to be my guardian.
Yeah.
And then we would go deposit the money, and then we would go to Fred Mart next door.
Yeah,
remember?
Fred Mart, yes.
And then I would run and play hide and seek in all the clothes where you shopped.
Yes, you did.
You remember?
Yes.
And then I would call you on the speaker. I'd have them paged.
Then he made the announcement, "Will the mother of
Paul Akers please
come
to the front desk
and pick up her son."
And then do you remember what the first thing I bought with the money was?
You didn't buy me anything.
Sports car.
Oh, that's right.
And then I bought the Hobie Cat. And this was all when I was 15 years old. I bought a boat, and I had a sport. I had a legally. I drove illegally. Yeah. I drove illegally, but I bought a boat and a car before I could drive. Before I was 15 years old. All from selling flowers on the corner on 24th Street. Right? You remember?
You were a businessman from that high.
From that young, yeah. It's crazy.
That's all. You were a born businessman.
So there you go, the story of how I got started to become an entrepreneur and loving business and loving everything about it. Hopefully that inspires some of you.